Recent criticisms of consciousness. There are certain occurrences which we are in the habit of calling mental. Among these we may take as typical believing and desiring. The exact definition of the word mental will, I hope, emerge as the lectures proceed. For the present, I shall mean by it whatever occurrences would commonly be called mental. I wish in these lectures to analyze as fully as I can what it is that really takes place when we, for example, believe or desire. In this first lecture I shall be concerned to refute a theory which is widely held, and which I formerly held myself. The theory that the essence of everything mental is a certain quite peculiar something called consciousness, conceived either as a relation to objects or as a pervading quality of psychical phenomena. The reasons which I shall give against this theory will be mainly derived from previous authors. There are two sorts of reasons, which will divide my lecture into two parts. One, direct reasons, derived from analysis and its difficulties. Two, indirect reasons, derived from observation of animals, comparative psychology, and of the insane and hysterical, psychoanalysis. Few things are more firmly established in popular philosophy than the distinction between mind and matter. Those who are not professional metaphysicians are willing to confess that they do not know what mind actually is, or how matter is constituted. But they remain convinced that there is an impassable gulf between the two, and that both belong to what actually exists in the world. Philosophers, on the other hand, have maintained often that matter is a mere fiction imagined by mind, and sometimes that mind is a mere property of a certain kind of matter. Those who maintain that mind is reality and matter an evil dream are called idealists, a word which has a different meaning in philosophy from that which it bears in ordinary life. Those who argue that matter is the reality and mind a mere property of protoplasm are called materialists. They have been rare among philosophers, but common at certain periods among men of science. Idealists, materialists, and ordinary mortals have been in agreement on one point, that they knew sufficiently what they meant by the words mind and matter to be able to conduct their debate intelligently. Yet it was just in this point, as to which they were at one, that they seemed to me to have been all alike in error. The stuff of which the world of our experience is composed is, in my belief, neither mind nor matter, but something more primitive than either. Both mind and matter seem to be composite, and the stuff of which they are compounded lies in a sense between the two, in a sense above them both, like a common ancestor. As regards matter, I have set forth my reasons for this view on former occasions, and I shall not now repeat them. But the question of mind is more difficult, and it is this question that I propose to discuss in these lectures. A great deal of what I shall have to say is not original. Indeed, much recent work in various fields has tended to show the necessity of such theories as those which I shall be advocating. Accordingly, in this first lecture I shall try to give a brief description of the systems of ideas within which our investigation is to be carried on. If there is one thing that may be said in the popular estimation to characterize mind, that one thing is consciousness. We say that we are conscious of what we see and hear, of what we remember, and of our own thoughts and feelings. Most of us believe that tables and chairs are not conscious. We think that when we sit in a chair we are aware of sitting in it, but it is not aware of being sat in. It cannot for a moment be doubted that we are right in believing that there is some difference between us and the chair in this respect. So much may be taken as fact, and as a datum for our inquiry.